الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله الذي خلقكم من ضعف ثم جعل من بعد ضعف قوة ثم جعل من بعد قوة ضعفا وشيبة يخلق ما يشاء وهو العليم القدير ويوم تقوم الساعة يقسم المجرمون ما لبثوا غير ساعة كذلك كانوا يؤفكون وقال الذين أوتوا العلم والإيمان لقد لبثتم في كتاب الله إلى يوم البعث فهذا يوم البعث ولكنكم كنتم لا تعلمون فيومئذ لا ينفع الذين ظلموا معذرتهم ولا هم يستعتبون ولقد ضربنا للناس في هذا القرآن من كل مثل ولئن جئتهم بآية ليقولن الذين كفروا إن أنتم إلا مبطلون كذلك يطبع الله على قلوب الذين لا يعلمون فاصبر إن وعد الله حق ولا يستخفنك الذين لا يوقنون الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ألم تروا أن الله سخر لكم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وأسبغ عليكم نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ولا هدى ولا كتاب منير وإذا قيل لهم اتبعوا ما أنزل الله قالوا بل نتبع ما وجدنا عليه آباءنا أولو كان الشيطان يدعوهم إلى عذاب السعير ومن يسلم وجهه إلى الله وهو محسن فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى وإلى الله عاقبة الأمور ومن كفر فلا يحزنك كفره إلينا مرجعهم فننبئهم بما عملوا إن الله عليم بذات الصدور نمتعهم قليلا ثم نضطرهم إلى عذاب غليظ الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله 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 أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Inshallah, tonight is the fourth and final session of the training Dawah course. Please attend and give the benefit, inshallah. And I would ask the brothers to leave this area and keep very soon to either side so we can sit on the projector, inshallah. Please. Okay. Sisters, please feel free to come forward, inshallah, so you can be part of that and participate. And even if you want to come to this side of the musalla, you are completely welcome. Please do so. Come closer to be part of it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. We start. This is the fourth and final session of Dawah techniques and strategies and studying and some discussion. Obviously, this is not everything about Dawah, but this is rather some kind of presentation of key things how to give Dawah. I'll be talking today, inshallah, tonight about a few things. One of them is leading tours, how to lead tours for people who are coming to the masjid. And please, Sister Farida, Sister Razan, Sister Fatima, Sister Hiba, any of the sisters who or the brothers who have been part of the open house, sharing Ramadan and other events, if you can share with us some of the techniques as I'm speaking, Sister Lina, definitely. Please feel free to share with us, inshallah, some of the techniques how to receive guests in our masjid. Leading tours. How to lead tours. We need to have some guide for the visitors in our masjid. You be the guide for them. Everybody should be the guide for anybody, because many people just step in to come, at any time. Maybe the imam is not here, one of the people who are trained in da'wah may not be here. So everybody should be there ready to give them the basic, very basic things. What is this place? What do Muslims do in here? It's as simple as that, believe me. Believe it or not, some people believe we do bombs in here.
Some people believe that we shoot others in here. That's what they believe. So talk to them the simple things. What is this place? What do we do here? What is the musalla? How do we make wudu? What is this room in there? What is this office in here? Give them the basic things and work as a guide for them. Visitors, do's and don'ts. Don't expect them to behave in the masjid as Muslims. They don't know that they have to take the shoes off in here as they are coming in. They don't know what to do. They don't know that to go to this side or this side. Give them a few things about what to do and what not to do. Masjid history. Many of them are interested in knowing how long this building been around the Muslim community here in the States and other things like that. So you better be familiar with some information about your place. So you better share that with others. Talk to them about the very, very basic things of Islam. Islam is 5 plus 6, the 5 articles of faith, arkan of actions of Islam, arkan of Islam, and khamsa. Just be familiar with those and share them with others. The shahadatain, the prayer, fasting, hajj, all of these things you need to share them. Every Muslim know these. So any visitors, for most of them, they don't know that. It's easy to share with them the 5 arkan, pillars of Islam, and the 6 articles of faith. We believe in Allah, believe in the prophets and messengers, the books, to the end of the 6 articles. And you better also be familiar with what Islam is not. What is Sharia and what is those terrorist people have to do with Islam and the most common things. We talked last week about the misconceptions, some of them or many of them, the major ones, oppression of women, and amongst other things. We did that last week. So you better know the answers for that so you can share it with others. Many of them ask a lot of questions and questions that need to have some answers. Encourage them to ask questions and tell them that there's no offense. Whatever you need to know, we will try to answer your questions. I given last week's session was mainly to focus and address those questions that many people usually ask. The difference, one of them here that we'll probably skip, difference between Sunni and Shia and Sunnah, what is that? We should be, as Muslims, we should be aware of some of those differences. The Sunnis and Shias, for what it started as a political difference when Shia believed that the only person qualified after the Prophet ﷺ's death, or after he passed away, the only person qualified to lead the Ummah was Imam Ali radiallahu anhu, Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, and it's in his lineage. In his lineage, they believe, many of them believe in the 12 Imams from his lineage, Imam Sayyidina Imam Ali, Al-Hassan, Al-Hussein, to the end of them, and those should be the leaders. No one else has, of those who have been leaders, they disqualify or they are not supposed to. But Muslims, the Sunni Muslims believe that no, Muslims that attended and Saqifat Bani Sa'ida, and they chose Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and then they chose Umar. Abu Bakr appointed Umar and he was accepted, nominated him and he was accepted, and Umar nominated 6, and then one of them was finally made it to the final round, if you wish, and then the Muslims voted for him, some kind of voted for him, and he accepted him, and it ended up being like that until the Umayyad came and it took different dimension. But this is how it started mainly. A political difference where Shias believe in Ali radiallahu anhu, his lineage, are the leaders, and no one else is qualified to be so. Now they vary. They have some sects amongst Shia. Some of them are really, far from Sunnis. Some of them are so close to Sunnis. Some of them are really so close to Sunnis, but some of them are far away from Sunnis that they believe many of the companions, or all of them with the except of Ahlul Bayt and a few other companions, that they believe all of them are hypocrites or kuffar. They abstained from Islam by rejecting Ali radiallahu anhu to be the leader. But all of that, we can discuss the roots and the development of that, but this is not the time to share with you all of this information. We have to know that it started mainly as a political difference. Who will be the leader after the Prophet? We do have some slight differences, and in some areas big differences between Sunnis and Shias. We have to have some kind of understanding of where they are. Sunnis are like 90% of the total population of the world, over 90%. Shias are 7 to 9% somehow, and this is where they are. The Sunnis are in all of these green countries. Shia are mainly in Iran and in Iraq and some other parts of Afghanistan and other countries. They are there. The other questions that they usually ask is about jihad and terrorism and terrorists. We discussed this last time. Oppression of Muslim women, perception of Jews and Christians, and they usually are told that Muslims are told to fight against Jews and Christians regardless and chop their head and all of that. Obviously, in the Quran, we need to be familiar with the people of the book. What is the concept of the people of the book? And they are the closest. Yes, they are non-Muslims, but they are the closest to Islam because they share the essence of religion. وَإِلَهُنَا وَإِلَهُكُمْ وَاحِدٌ. Our Lord and your Lord is one. But then the concept of God is different. They believe in Trinity, Thalatha, but we believe in one God, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should share with them all of that. How did they live with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam until they betrayed? But they were allowed to be there. They were there. They lived with Muslims in Egypt, in Yemen, in Palestine, Palestine, and Morocco, and all of these areas. Christians and Jews, they have been living together throughout history. We have to be familiar with that. What is Sharia, for example? People are talking about Sharia law. Where is that book? Where is the book of Sharia law? You have to teach them that Sharia is as simple as me being here, having that. It's actually a constitutional right to be able to practice my faith, to be able to pray, facing the Kaaba, dressing the way I want, marrying according to my own way. Many of the Sharia, if not majority of the Sharia law, so-called Islamic faith laws, they overlap with the laws, the regular laws of any country. So, but as Christians have the right to marry certain how and dress certain how and eat whatever they want, Jews have the same rights, and everybody else got their own rights as long as they do not contradict with the laws of the country. We do have the same thing. It happened to be the name of our set of laws happened to be Sharia. But if it's meant to dominate others, take over the authority of others, that's obviously not the case in here, because it's I don't think any Muslim is thinking this way. And even if he's thinking this way, yes, why don't you, if you want to dominate, go through the process in here, be run for elections, and then if you have whatever agendas you have, then you do whatever you want. But we do have laws and we do have constitution that we are happy with, and we working through it. So we need to explain that to them, Sharia, as simple as that. Those are the Sunnis and Shias thing. Jews and Christians, we already discussed that. We share a lot of things with them. We all go back to Ibrahim alayhi salam. From Ibrahim alayhi salam came Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam. From Ismail alayhi salam came Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And from the same Ibrahim alayhi salam came Ishaq, Yaqub, Isaac, and Jacob. And from them came all the prophets of Bani Israel. So we share. In the Middle East, we have always been living together. We share the source of the divinity is coming from the same source and so on. So we should be familiar with the concept of the people of the book. Jesus alayhi salam, stunning facts, some simple, very simple facts for us. We all know them. It's like stunning facts for them. We believe in Jesus. He is mentioned in the Quran. Sayyida Maryam madhkura fil Quran. Surah bi'ismiha kamila fil Quran. An entire chapter by the name. Share with them all of these basic things that we believe in. He was born miraculously from a virgin lady, and he is the Word of God. We believe in all of his works and actions and miracles. All of that shared with them. It's stunning for them. Concept of God, these are the areas of difference. The original sin, we don't believe anybody takes the sin of Adam alayhi salam. Salvation, it's through the rahmah, the mercy of Allah through our actions. We do good. When we do bad, we turn to him, we repent. All of that is in there. Crucifixion, we don't believe in it. I will believe that's what happened. He was betrayed. Isa alayhi salam, Allah took him, and he is with Allah right now in the heaven, and he will come back at the end of time. So we tell them what we believe in. Infallibility of prophets, we don't believe in all of these trash out there about prophets, that some of them lied, some of them cheated, some of them committed adultery, some of them this and that. No, we believe they were perfect human beings. Sharia, we already discussed that. I now want to move to da'wah to atheists and evolutionists. Those who believe, non-believers who do not believe in God, or they believe in evolution, التطور, وإن الإنسان أصله معروف إيش ترده A lot of people are out there like that. So how to talk to them? I will share with you a few videos, inshallah. All of them are like, each one is like a few minutes, and I hope we focus, on those, inshallah. Number one is an interesting video that Mr. Sheikh Luqman is here. Where are you? iPhone 6 does not believe in Steve Jobs. An interesting video.
The computer is muted.
Mute? Okay. I take a chance. You see, I'm made of metals and plastic. Hello, my name's iPhone 6 Plus. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in fairy tales that some creature with intelligence created me. Let's just say I don't have to believe in them. I'm just a product of chance. You see, I'm made of metals and plastic. I have lithium battery made of some materials like zinc, cadmium, nickel, and others. My DDR3 RAM built of millions of microtransistors and capacitors, all arranged in chips. 5 central and graphic processing units, which consist of silicon and other semiconductors, flash memory, sapphire screen, and many other components. All these elements just formed into each other through decades of evolution and selection. We know our origin and predecessors. We can actually see their remains and traces everywhere. Their evolution story is perfectly sound. And here we are, iPhones. So why in hell would I need stories about myths that made me with their hands? Are you kidding me? You know what? I don't believe in Jobs. Yes, I might find it reasonable that Mr. 2007 version believed it. He did not have other options. But come on! That was in 2007. The man didn't even have GPS, for crying out loud. You can't blame the guy. But do not come to me in 2015 and tell me that we should think the same way. Because I think if we did that, then we don't deserve to be called smartphones anymore, do we?
Right. So this is a very simple video in here. If this person believes, ask him, do you believe that a phone like this can come together, the pieces of the phone, which is sophisticated, is smart. You have a camera, you have so many features in it. Do you really believe that it can come together like that with nobody putting it together? Then if it's too difficult for you to believe that, how come we're in the world, not in the hell, that you believe that you as a person and the entire world just come together in a series of evolutions, thousands of years and stuff. So this is something in here to share with them. Another quick video is beautiful thing in the Quran. كيف خلق الله جل العلقة وهذه. يعني this is a very clear thing to anybody that got an ounce of mind. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ. How did it come together?
It's said to be the official, unchanged, pure word of God, revealed over 1,400 years ago. Claiming to be the word of God is a heavy statement, and without proof or if a single contradiction is found within the book, the apparent word of God will be proved false. So without further ado, let's put the book to the test. In the 23rd chapter, titled The Believers, from the 12th to the 14th verses, God is said to give a detailed description of how the human being is formed. It begins by saying, "We then placed him as a sperm drop in a place of settlement, firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into a alaqah." We will translate this word very soon. "And then we changed the alaqah into a lump. Then we made out of that lump into bones. And then we clothed the bones with flesh. Then we caused him to grow and come into being and attain the definitive human form." In the 21st century, we can now safely say that this verse is clearly describing the process of human development in correct chronological order. However, what we should be paying attention to in particular is the second stage, referring to the development of the embryo. The specific word used to describe the embryo in this verse is the word alaqah. The word alaqah, when translated into English, can mean three separate things. Firstly, a blood clot or to be suspended, that is to be hanging or clinging to something, or thirdly and finally, a leech. Now, all three definitions don't come anywhere near what we perceive to be the human embryo. So, why are these words used, and what significance do they share with the human embryo? Can the embryo be described as a blood clot? Well, what do you think? In the third week of embryonic development, a tubular heart joins with the blood vessels to form a primordial cardiovascular system. And by the end of the third week, the blood is circulating and the heart begins to beat on day 21. The first thing that comes to mind in regards to being suspended or hanging is the umbilical cord. But we can't use that example because we are simply referring to step 2, before the baby has even formed. But we now know today that the umbilical cord is formed from the connecting stalk. And the connecting stalk is formed as soon as the embryo is formed. The embryo's connecting stalk has even been described by John Allen and Beverly Kramer as an object to suspend the developing embryo in an extra-embryonic colony. So an embryo is suspended and does have a strong resemblance with the blood clot. What on earth would an embryo have to do with a leech? Figure A shows the structure of an embryo at 25 days. Figure B shows a leech. Now please note once again that the embryo in this stage is no greater than the size of a kernel of wheat. This is an X-ray of the embryo at 22 days. This is the internal structure of a leech. It's mind-blowing stuff, but you still haven't seen anything yet. This is the head of the embryo at 22 days. The detail you are seeing right now is absolutely impossible to be seen with the human eye. It can only be seen with a microscope. This is the back end of a leech. There's no other word used to describe this other than mind-blowing. The pictures we have shown you are impossible to be seen with the human eye, or even to be predicted by the human mind. Once again, the verses we have shown you were revealed over 1400 years ago to a man who couldn't read nor write. Are these the words of God?
Descriptions of the human embryo in the Quran cannot be based on scientific knowledge in the 7th century. The only reasonable conclusion is that these descriptions were revealed to Muhammad from God, from God, from God, from God, from God, from God.
Right, so these are the simplest of facts in here that we have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, He told us, and we believe in that, وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ, and in your own selves, your own creation, your own existence. Don't you see? So all we need to do is just share that with those who do not believe, because it should make sense for anybody who got a sound mind. This is the ayah. You can share with Allah.
ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين ثم إنكم بعد
these ayat, I mean, check your faith right now. What's going on in there? That makes sense. That moves the heart of any human being, because this is where and how we were created. It can never be convincing for anybody that all of that just come together like that and happen to be like that. And Quran is speaking, and we see it's a miracle that proves this. That I got a couple of videos. I don't want to be sharing those things. That's only at the level of the human being. But when you talk about the space, I got a couple of videos about the space and how very tiny we are. Earth is life. We all watch this. Do you want to see them? Well, that's too much.
Yes.
Very quickly, inshallah, that is the size of, maybe let me jump straight to the last video. Trip into the universe just to figure out حجم الإنسان بالمقارنة بحجم الكون كله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون.
Zooming out, Florida, and then going up altitude 10 meters,
الذي يمكن مختلفون.
altitude of 100 meters,
كلا سيعلمون
1 kilometers. Back in with the
ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا
10 kilometers, 10 كيلو.
وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا
100 kilometers, you see Florida.
وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا
1,000 kilometers, you see the entire state.
وبنينا
And
فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا
1 million kilometers,
حبا ونباتا وجنات
10 million kilometers,
إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا وفتحت السماء فكانت
1 billion kilometers,
وسيرت الجبال فكانت سرابا إن جهنم كانت مرصادا للطاغين مآبا لابثين فيها أحقابا لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا إلا حميما وغساقا جزاء وفاقا إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا وكل شيء أحصيناه
100 light years, like clouds of stars and galaxies.
عذابا إن للمتقين
That's just the boundary of our galaxy.
وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دهاقا
100,000 light
لا
years.
يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا
See the Milky Way. 1 million light years. That's the Milky Way.
رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن
10 مليون سنة ضوئية.
لا
10 million light years.
يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقول الروح والملائكة
Now zooming in, back
لا
in.
يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا
Now going the reverse way, zooming more into the leaf.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر
That's the electrons around the nucleus, and then like a space between the nucleus and the electrons.
إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزل إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
نعم هو الله أحد الله الصمد. Yes, for sure he is Allah one, because we see that how we are nothing in this big universe, subhanallah. So that is, a clear sign for us that how we are created, where we are in comparison with the universe. There is someone, superpower, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is taking care of that universe, definitely. Now, any other ideas talking to atheists? I didn't open the floor. Let's open the floor towards the end, because I really need to cover all of these. Da'wah to new Muslims or mentorship. I'm trying to get back to... What? Can you come to do it, please? So da'wah to new Muslims, very important. We are very enthusiastic to attract people to Islam, talk to them about Islam. And if they come here, well, we abandon them. We leave them alone. It's not right. They are like babies in Islam. So we should not give them 1,000 do's and don'ts. This is what you should do. Do this, do that. They take a shower. This is how you should do the hair of your body. Do not bombard them with all of these millions of things. They are like babies. Take it easy with them. Embrace them socially and economically and all aspects. We should be aware that they should face, and they will be facing some family problems with their family. They are leaving their religion, their roots. They will have problem with friends. They will be rejected. They have friends. They have previous lifestyles, boyfriends, girlfriends, etc. They have problems like social, life that they've been leading, drinking and certain foods, and then there are a lot of acts of worship, fasting, praying, this and that. Then many people telling them to learn Arabic. We have to make their life easy. We have to walk them through Islam in the nicest way. The most common thing in here is that Muslim, the nicest to those people before Islam, but they are not. They are something else once they accept Islam. They really reject them and deal with them in a bad way. And everybody should be, considerate to that. You should be considerate to that. You see somebody that's not familiar to you, is doing like crazy mistakes, silly mistakes and prayer or stuff. First thing, tell yourself, he may be a new Muslim. Do not go and talk to them, brother, you don't know that? Didn't you know that you should do that? Or sister, you have to do such and such, take it easy with them. We need to have a mentorship program, and at least let's start talking about this and mobilizing people and raising the awareness, and inshallah, step by step, we'll start all of that, inshallah. We confuse them with a lot of things, so I will just quickly go over that. Da'wah to Muslims, this is another thing. We are here just a fraction of the Muslim community. The people who regularly attend the masajid, the Jum'ah in any given community is no more than 10 to 20% of the Muslim population, believe it or not. The people who attend masajid regularly, that's some kind of a statistic that is there. So only 10% of the Muslims who, we're not saying that if you not come to the masjid, you are not Muslim, but in a country, in a place like that, in a society like this, if you do not really engage with Muslims, you are kind of far, definitely, you're far. So we need to get people to the masajid, more to Islam, not only to the masjid, but more to Islam. And since this is the Islamic center, we need to get them in here. We need to have home da'wah. That needs an organized effort. Somebody, a brother or sister that we know is going through something. Why don't we go? Social things, that's da'wah. You don't have to give him lectures, but at least visit him. We have to visit them. That's the right on us. Somebody who got a disagreement, that happens a lot. He disagrees with the imam or with one member of the community, one of the board members, whatever. He decides not to come to the masjid and he separates himself or herself. We need to give them da'wah. Giving da'wah is just visiting them. Couple of brothers, couple of sisters, go visit him, go visit her to figure out. That is da'wah in itself. Da'wah to non-practicing Muslims. We have non-practicing Muslims, subhanAllah, never know. Just share the next thing with you. Believe it or not. He came, Steve Jobs, we're just talking about him. Anybody know that he came from a Syrian origin? He belongs to a Syrian family. You're supposed to be a Muslim. If he was a Muslim now, from Homs, yeah. So this is a non-practicing parents that if you just talk to them, imagine you would have a figure that affects the world, a Muslim, and this guy, the president of Argentina, he came from a Muslim origin, and this is, anybody knows this guy down here? That's Barack Obama. His father, direct father, family was Muslim. So, I mean, da'wah to non-practicing people, you never know. You're talking to this family, maybe the next president is going to be from them, somebody who is very effective in the society. So we really need to pay attention to that. Home da'wah, interested families, mostly to non-practicing families, you know, just to start a dialogue and to get them closer to the masjid. Why? Because Hadith Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu, حق المسلم على المسلم ست إذا لقيته فسلم عليه. You meet your brother, his right on you is to give him salam. So greet him. وإذا دعاك فأجبه. When he calls you, you need to respond and honor this invitation. وإذا استنصحك فانصح له. Ask نصيحة, give him نصيحة, advice. وإذا عطس فحمد الله فشمته. وإذا مرض فعوده. وإذا مات فاتبعه. A lot of rights. This is just an example of some of the rights of a Muslim over the other. It goes from very minor things like when he sneezes, but they do have a lot of rights over us. من رأى منكم منكرا الأمر بالمعروف. هذه الأمة, this nation is a nation of standing for the good. This is our رأس المال, our capital. Muslims, especially the second generations, and you know, we know it's declining. We need to get our capital back. Capital of this society by making Amr Ma'ruf Nahy Anil Munkar in the nicest way, taking, you know, if somebody is in a distress and then some people from the masjid visiting him nicely, taking some gifts to him. You can imagine how you know, effective this would be on such a person. I will, by this I'll come to the end and I will open the floor for please sisters and brothers to share some ideas on everything in here. First thing about touring and giving tours to the communities. Any of the sisters or brothers got some techniques to share with us? What should we do? Previously from the past, if any of the sisters who have experience in da'wah, sharing Ramadan committee, the sisters and brothers who helped us with the open house. Please, yeah, I'm open. I'm done with the presentation, but it might be very, very effective to share and discuss those techniques for da'wah. Now talking about touring and giving tours for people. Any ideas? Techniques? Okay. Many times I see people coming, we have a da'wah event, or even we don't have a da'wah event, and somebody is waiting for me in here, or somebody happened to be in the masjid. Many times if I do not address him or her, nobody would care for them. They would just say Salaam Alaikum, and they don't know who is that, and they will leave. No. You know, have the minimum amount of being nice and approaching this person. Can I help you? And be nice to them. He will tell you. Many times people just step in. step in to ask questions. So we need to receive them, welcome them, be nice to them. Many times people come in Jum'ah for the first time, and because we take everything for granted, you think they are Muslim, they should go. They don't know. Don't expect them to introduce themselves. Step up and talk to them. Yes, well, are you new to the community? This is his right. Do you have anything that I can help you with? And then, start to talk with them in a nice way. Again, many people do not really know what they're supposed to do, what they're supposed to say. They might come to a sister trying to hug her, or a sister or a lady coming to trying to hug you. I mean, you have to receive them in the nicest way, in the best way, taking them through, things like that. Again, I'm waiting. I'm expecting Sister Lina and other sisters and brothers to, from your experience in the past, from your, yes, brother.
The last event we did, like Dawah, we invited
Now, open house.
People ask about where is someone they know. They're asking me, where is this, where is this?
Right.
So all the Muslims, I believe, they should attend.
Okay.
Otherwise it would be like, they don't know nobody. They come here, they don't have nobody to talk to.
Well, at least if someone invites, someone to come, they should be there. They expect them to be there. But, we usually, for big events like that, we don't expect all Muslims to be here, because not all of them, first of all, will be, we don't have enough room for everybody. I'm not sure if everybody will be at the same level of, being qualified to talk and to have it's going to be packed. So, but at least if somebody invites someone, they need to be there to receive them and talk to them. Okay, yes, sister.
Nice, friendly people, we outside also, but something, some of them when they come, I think they're really like, they're scared and they are not.
Right.
And it's really nice, like example, I hope that even if we outside and whenever we visitors,
Can you turn on the lights, please?
it's not to talk to them and ask them about this. And it's amazing. Sometimes you can have a social media about what they reception and what they there. And next week is really, and
right.
There's so many things they already like the job that stuff.
That's right. So important. You see somebody that looks new to the community somehow, or a visitor or something, so please approach them in the nicest way. Ask them, greet them, and ask, can I help you with anything? Make them feel comfortable. They are our guests. A guest is coming to visit you at your house. You should be generous to him. It's actually an Islamic etiquette to be generous to your guests. Many times they kind of don't know where to go. They are initially having some negative background about us. No, we need to change that. And now they see people who look different, some beards out there, some sisters who are covered, some brothers who look different. So they are extremely, many of them, especially those who do not know how Muslims are like, what is Islamic places like, they are somehow worried. So you need to break the ice. Yes, sister. Can you try? I can't take the mic here. Please, that's more of a discussion right now, but it's important. We talk a lot, brothers and sisters, about important and not important things, and we spend time left and right. We need to talk right now so we can, have, inshallah, effective da'wah effort in the future. And the mic is here. I just made it intentionally. Omar, please. Sister, if you come to, please come to the front end there, and you can talk, share with us what you have, because I'm not sure if everybody can hear you.
I was just saying that a smile breaks down a lot of walls, and I see a lot of stoic people. We have a lot of problems. This is granted, we're all trying to deal with things. But if we smile at each other first, it'll be commonplace for us to smile at other people, and it breaks down walls. I don't talk a lot, but I smile a little bit, to want to smile a lot. And a lot of people approach me because of this. And it's sunnah too, to smile, really.
That's right.
And it invites people, and it opens these brick walls.
Thank you. Beautiful thing. Even if without talking, you all need to do just smile at their face, make them feel comfortable. That we have some people also who smile in here. Yes, I can. Then Dr.
My experience, I had once an experience, trying to introduce Islam in a very nice way. My introduction and my conversation became a serious argument. That's important to avoid that argument. Do our best. The introduction of the might, the challenges that
turn into a debate.
Yes, because disturbances on both sides.
That's right.
So the best to avoid, do your best to avoid
debate and clashes. Yes, I was today at the fourth Salat al-Jum'ah in the university, in the college, giving a speech for a group of 30, 35 people who are interested in Islam, and they we're giving them, it was a course. I just gave 2 speeches in there. Today was one of them. And the main was an hour and a half just answering questions all about Sharia and Sunni series, depression of women, this and that. So, talking to Christians, you expect majority of them are speaking nice. When you explain things to them, well, it makes sense and they understand. But then you have always a couple of people there that are set up for attacking, and they make you responsible for all the bombs in the world and the circumcision and what have you. So, be patient. You are giving da'wah. You are like one of those customer service people that you're talking to, and you sometimes I don't have great deal of patience, and I don't know, looks like they believe I'm the richest person in America or something. They give me calls about everything, and this is a new whatever it is offer or anything. So sometimes I get rude to them. Please remove my number from your database. And they still nice to me, nice and stuff like. You see what I'm saying? Customer service thing. So be nice to everybody, even if they are attacking you and stuff.
Can we? I think one way of giving dawah is to ask the churches to invite us so we can go and talk to them right in their church and tell them about Islam, because I think that's where all the people are sitting. Do you ever made an effort to ask them to invite you to their churches and discuss this Islam right there in their home yard?
So again, just to clear up something, that's not meant to give da'wah, but rather to discuss about the techniques of giving da'wah. But yes, to be honest with you, I do not present myself. Usually, I receive invitations from people on a regular basis. Not only me, Sister Fatima is part of what's called an interfaith program. I and other people are part of another interfaith program that happens on an annual basis. I receive not many, but sometimes invitations from churches here in Panama City Beach. Many times a call comes, please can you send us somebody from your ministry or place of worship, an imam or something, to share something with our community. It happens on a regular basis. Can it be better? Yes, it can be better. And we are looking forward to more and more talks between people of different faith. And yes, but let's at least open up to ourselves, to our communities, so we are we can give dawah better, inshallah. Sisters, brothers, what they see.
Always when you get a discussion or somebody invited here, you feel talk to them in some way. Always when we have somebody come visit the mosque, or we talk to somebody from the chair or any place, please talk to them in some way, not make the thing complicated. Like treat them like a little baby, and when you start to walk, step by step. But this way, you just go in a complicated way, you No, he's not going to listen to you. He starts talking to you like an enemy, not man who tries to introduce himself. Always we have to go with basic things. Because the Prophet, when he introduces Islam to the people, he introduces basic things. He doesn't go right away, tell them this. And we have to go step by step until each enter his mind and trust. And it's very important when you really talk to somebody who never believes, who does not share with you the idea, is the trust. You cannot establish the trust, he will not listen to you. But if you establish the trust, he will listen to you. That's very important in our reach to other people. Always think with them. If you ask you a question, somebody will question, do not go be mad or angry or something, misbehave, or just talk to him in a simple way. I mean, answer the thing, make him happy. His anger, absorb his anger. Or if you try to excite you or something, make something not. But always we have to do the simple way. I think that's the important thing. Thank you.
There are a couple of points that I wanted to make. One of them is that I've noticed, we've touched on this, but just to elaborate on the reality of the situation, so often when there's a community event or a function like a wedding or even something here at the masjid, we have visitors. Sometimes they're Muslim from out of town and sometimes they're not. And the way that our normal human social functioning is that we gravitate toward people we know. So even if we may have had dinner with somebody the night before, we'll sit with them the same day. Even if it's your brother or your closest friends, you choose to sit with them at the table. And many times, a group of people who I know and myself who make an effort to approach the new people, we'll do that and we'll have them say something like, you know, we've been sitting here for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, no one's even said a word to us. The last time we had a community dinner here, there was a brother a man who I ran into at a coffee shop, and he heard me speaking to my aunt in Turkey, so he said, oh, I'm Turkish. And, you know, and I said, have you ever come to the masjid? And he said, no. And I invited him, this was about 4 months ago, I said, come to the masjid. Last time we had our dinner here, he came and I found out that he'd come with a friend. And the whole time he was here, with all the men that were here, not a single person said anything to him. Not even salam alaikum. He was new by his face, and he was also new because he was touring, giving himself a tour of the masjid, trying to like discover where the musalla was, what this room was, even looking into the bathroom. And he had a daughter, and so I found myself in a slightly awkward position of trying to welcome him, even though there were a host of men who should have come up and said something to him. And perhaps maybe somebody did eventually say salam to him, but every time I kept checking over, he was alone. Same thing that happens with the sisters. And one of the sisters that I met recently, well, I didn't meet her recently, I'm sorry, but just 2 days ago, she, you know, came over and said to me, Hiba, I've visited 15 cities across the world, and in every city, 1 or 2 masjids. And the Panama City was the only masjid I've ever been to where the woman didn't say a single word to me. No one came and said salam to me. For time and time and time again, I came to the masjid and I was obviously new and nobody said anything to me. And she said, and this was the community that we decided to settle in, and I felt so bad because of that. And for me, this is so embarrassing. We have a beautiful message. We have, you know, a ni'mah, a blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. But not only are we not sharing it, we're making it ugly for people. And so you have to be aware of that. So I've just, the message that I wanted to remind everybody is that when you see a new face, like the sister said, smile, start a conversation, if it's Muslim or not Muslim, but also go out of your way and step out of your comfort zone and approach people who look like they're alone. Even if it means that you're going to be not in your ideal situation, you know, conversing with your friends and closest, you know, relatives and people. But that's our purpose, is to create a family and a bond outside of
What do they do in churches? You talked to me about this before.
What do they do in churches?
If they see a stranger or somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I've visited dozens of churches, and I'm sure that other people here have as well. When you walk in, there are people who are the welcoming committee, and they greet you at the door, and they make you feel very, very welcome. As soon as you walk in, they're, hello, how are you, what's your name, my name is this, let me know if I can help you, etc. Almost like leeches. And then you walk in, and then you sit down, and during the sermon, the preacher stops at some point and says, do we have anybody new in the congregation today? Do we have any visitors? And then everyone turns around and says hello and welcomes the new visitors. And then they exchange numbers sometimes, and then they follow up. And it's a very, very, subhanAllah, every time I go and every time this happens, I think this is how we should be. This is what Islam should be. Look at how excited they are to share their message, and it's not even the truth. We have the truth, and we're shying away from sharing it with people, or we're selfishly keeping it to ourselves. So, you know, all of these things are things that we need to work on. And if there isn't a committee or a group that's going to do it, then at least on an individual level, we need to be able to, you know, to compensate for the lack that we have as a community.
Especially you guys, many times, not to judge you, many times we need your help. We're sitting there talking to each other. It's good to talk to each other, but if you see somebody who's a visitor coming, step out and talk to them. You know, somebody with an accent like myself, that will add to the more discomfortability that they are in. But somebody, you know, who speaks the language and everything and make them more comfortable, reach to them, inshallah.
I would like to talk about the welcome committee we have. I think there was an incident. I think the people who need to listen to this are not here. That one of the woman came to the masjid, and she was related to one of the new Muslims. And I think the people, the way they reacted, that how she's dressed and how she's been inappropriately dressed the first time ever, that the way they behave from a senior welcoming committee here, it was to turn the whole family away from coming to masjid. And I don't think they ever came after that. Even though the sister was new Muslim, the family was new Muslim. I mean, they were just coming the first time, and they were told about all these things. Now, even if they did not dress properly, but if they accepted Islam, I mean, they had a hope. But somebody who's been Muslim for all their life does not understand the simple fact. I mean, this is what the other side of the welcoming committee does. So,
I believe that every Muslim, every part of the community, member of the community, is part of the welcome committee. Because if you assign a welcome committee, it's not going to be there all the time. It's not going to be full-time job for people. It's everybody, every single person of us, basic things of Islam. Yes, we can assign some people at certain occasions, but we need to be, all of us, that kind of welcome committee at all times, in case anybody slips in. Do you want, let me ask you questions, my brother and my sister. Do you want to be judged? Do you want anybody to judge you, the way you dress, the way your hair is like, the way you're praying? Anybody likes to be judged? It's not easy. It's not easy. Somebody tell me, Sheikh Amr, why you have this? Why your wife is whatever? Why you're dressing this? Why? Nobody likes it. It's not easy. It's not easy. So if that's, the way you don't like it for yourself, why would you do it for others? Because, and who amongst us believe he or she is perfect? No one is. We are not perfect. We are not perfect. So if you're not perfect, you have some defects or some sides that you lack things. They have other people have different areas. So كذلك كنتم من قبل, maybe somebody's not dressing properly, or somebody's not talking properly, or not smelling, or not praying, or not. We need to accommodate everybody. We need to accommodate each other. So we give da'wah better, inshallah. Anything else as far as touring, giving people? Yes.
We have to know that we put material art, Islamic material, visual and stuff like that. We have to know about it. We have to read it, because people ask you question about it.
Right, the materials out there, yeah. So now you know what to do. At least if you don't know, just come or ask for Rabbi, ask myself. you know that we have some materials out there to give in case somebody's asking about women. We have some flyers, terrorism, this and that. We have some books out there. Well, the other thing is, anybody, I think we are done with this. Talking to an atheist, somebody who does not, I just shared some videos with you. I did not talk about techniques or anything. But anybody had an experience to talk to an evolutionist or an atheist or non-believer? Any other techniques from your experience?
Yes, wants to argue with you.
They want to argue with you.
Yeah.
So we kill them and get rid of them.
No. I did my best.
Just kidding, brother.
They insisting counter, ridicule about Islam and about in general, not only Islam, religion in general. And I invited them to my house, and I would talk, and I know them for 2 years or more, and friends, and it's not the first time they come to my house. But when it came to the religion, we started to discuss, talking about Islam, it became a major argument, and they left.
Sister, can you pass it to the sister?
The thing I've seen about a lot of atheists, and I've got to speak to a lot of them, is are they true atheists? Okay, they want to discredit Allah all the time. If you really truly believe in something, you're not going to go out of your way to go find something to fight against what you believe. So a lot of them in their minds, from what I've seen, they know it was put in them, that Allah is the one and only, but they're looking for something. And a lot of times they keep on and on and on and on. There is no God, there is no God, this. So if we can approach it from that point of view and listen to them, and they're just asking, and they're just talking, and they want to be told what the truth is, in essence. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of times when they keep talking, if you don't care about something, if I don't care about anybody here, I'm not going to go out of my way to one of the sisters. Oh, did you see this one? On and on and on, day after day. They really do care. So they're just confused. So if we take it from that approach, so people don't talk about what they don't care about.
Right.
So much.
Okay. Any experience, any techniques talking to atheists or people who believe in evolution?
Atheists, there is different kind of atheists, like agnostic, also some don't believe in God, some believe in supernatural. They are different. When you approach those people, you have to know what kind of people. You have to listen to them. You don't bombard them. They are very smart people. They read a lot. They know a lot. They're not coming out of the blue becoming atheists. They are more complicated than regular Christian or Jewish or Muslim people. So you have to know where they come from. You ask them questions. Do they believe in supernatural? What kind of atheists they are? Why they became atheists? A lot of things they have to figure out to put doubt on their belief, not arguing with them. There is God, no God. It doesn't work that way.
What about this? What about that?
What about how this world created without nothing? How evolution does make sense to you, or make him think toward Islam or toward religion first. Then the conversation. You have to make friendship with them.
Right.
That's the way I think I believe it works. All right.
So anything else, brothers, sisters, as far as talking to an atheist? The Christian religion is mainly about the Trinity. You die, you crucified, and you resurrected. That's what Trinity is based on. So, of course, Islam doesn't believe in the Quran says he died. So how do you prove to a Christian that Jesus died? If he died,
He did not die.
Yeah, it's about
taken up.
Yeah, it's about
He did not die yet.
How do you prove that to a Christian? Because a lot of people they argue.
Okay.
Needed.
Yes, sir.
the word Trinity does not appear in anywhere in the Old Testament and New Testament. All right? And I had this one of the PhD, he's a physician, right? And he said he did PhD in theology. So I said the word Trinity does not appear anywhere in the Bible. He said it does. So I said, fine. Let's have a, find out. He said, okay, I'll show you. So I met him after a month or so and I asked him, did you find it? He said, I didn't look for it. and there's no such word in the Bible. And not just that, I mean, if you say that Jesus, many places he clearly say that I am nothing compared to God. And don't praise me, praise God. And but one of the things which I noticed in Quran, in our belief, that they believe in the miracles of Jesus, but we have more miracles about Jesus than they ever know in Bible. And one of the most important, the miracle I think is that when he spoke in a prayer, which does not appear in Bible.
Right. But one of the few questions that you need to ask them, because they believe he died on the cross, and then he was taken and buried for 3 days, and after 3 days they found out that the tomb was empty. No one was there. He was taken up. So now, I like the idea of asking questions to make them think. We shifted from atheism to talking to Christians. There are a lot of things out there, but probably we conclude very soon. Ask them, when Jesus died, so who was running the world? Now Jesus died, right? They said Jesus died on the cross. When he died, who was taking care of everything? The skies, earth, and heaven. Father. They will say, so Father is the one, because Jesus died. When Jesus was in the grave for 3 days, who was running the world? So the one who was running the world is the same one that he was praising and praying to and everything. So if Jesus died, can God really die? So that is a question that they really need to answer. And again, I'm not talking about the discrepancy even about his death and whether they found him. A lot of, it depends on the account of the which Bible exactly that you read. And I said that in the second session, but you might need to, I remind you again about it. Listen to a few lectures for Dr. Bart, B-A-R-T, Ehrman, E-H-R-M-A-N, from UNC Chapel Hill. He used to be a Christian and now he become an atheist or non-believer. He rejects all of that, but he has very interesting scientific academic points of view about the discrepancies in the Bible, even about the crucifixion of Jesus, about the incarnation, about him going to heaven. A lot of those questions that he scientifically proved, you need to listen to him. Just put it on YouTube and you will find a lot of those things about that. So yeah, why God, if that's his son, why God will put him into suffering? Why should somebody suffer and die? I mean, and another question, you assume son to the God. Now, when Christians try to be better and better and better, they go practice Christianity, they take it to a higher level, they go to temples and they worship God, and they become very high in worship by what? By fasting a lot, praying a lot, by not marrying. So in one story goes like one of those monks, it was like a debate between a Muslim and a non-Muslim and a Christian. And this monk came over and he said, well, Arabs usually say, if they want to respect you, they call you Abu Fulan, father of such and such, So I am Abu Muhammad, for example. Usually it's, if you go to Gulf countries and Arabs back then, to respect you, they call you by the name of your son. So he called him, welcome, Abu such and such. He said, well, no, I don't have any children. He said, why? He said, because I'm a monk. And I don't even, get married. He said, why? He said, because, I've become more. It's not fit for me. He said, you assume son to God and maybe he got married or something. And you say something about God that you disdain, you don't like to to do it yourself. So that's a contradiction in there. How come God has a son? In what way? Biological son? In what sense he will be a son of God? That's a dilemma in there. I don't want to keep it going on and on and on, but inshallah, we keep you updated and posted. We need to form a committee. There was a nice suggestion from one of the sisters. We need to really form a committee, and I was amazed to see, mashallah, the positive response of a lot of brothers and sisters attending those sessions. So that gives me the message that we are interested about listening to things about da'wah and participating in da'wah events. We have a group of people visiting us next Sunday, Sheikh, inshallah, brother.
I don't know, I think Tuesday or Sunday.
We will let you know, inshallah, but we have next week, not this week, next week, we have a group of those people who coming from the college. They are really interested in knowing about Islam. They got a training course about Islam, and we invited them to come over in here. They will be, whoever is interested, maybe 10, 15, more or less. We need to receive them practicing what we said in this workshop. That's going to be next week. We let you know about the exact date. I hope everybody will be there. And then we'll keep you posted, inshallah, if you are interested in joining this group. So we see we need to do mentorship for the new Muslims. We need to reach out for churches. We need to have more and more reaching out to the community in the form of a lot of events, inshallah. That needs a lot of planning. That needs a lot of manpower. That needs some people who got experience about da'wah, inshallah. جزاكم الله خير وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.